Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing okay. Today we are going to finish up chapter 10, which is just a few pages, and then I'll go over what you're going to do today in Google Classroom. Okay, so let's get started. No, we have to catch the bus, Brody paced back and forth on the seat. He felt the van picking up speed beneath him. You need to jump up, Tuck. What do you mean? This is your last chance. Jump as high as you can. Once the rest of you is all the way up in the van, you gotta make yourself real and land inside. You're gonna have one shot. I don't know if I. Now, Tuck, go! Tuck's eyes got white and wild. He bared his teeth and growled, a gritty growl of determination that roared up into a bark as he jumped up with everything that he had. His body popped up through the floor. It hung for a breath of moment, then came down, landing in a clumsy pile on the van's back seat. Tuck grinned up at Brody, still watching over the back seat. I made it, buddy. Brody grinned back. Of course you did. I knew you would, Brody lied. Tuck tumbled over the seat and joined Patsy and Brody. What now? He asked. Brody craned to look out through the van's windshield. The bus was there, 9 or 10 cars in front of them. We've got to keep our eyes on that bus. The woman driving the van was humming along to the music on the radio, completely unaware that she was giving a ride to 2 dead dogs and a dead cat. It was probably better that way. Patsy jumped into the front seat and put her paws up on the dashboard. After a few minutes, she called out, the bus is turning. Better hope we do too. What if we don't? Patsy looked back at them. That's where the hopping part comes in. Brody looked out the window. He could see the bus heading off in another direction ahead of them. They waited as the van approached the intersection where the bus had turned. We're not slowing down, Brody said nervously. Get ready to jump, Patsy said. Where? Tuck said. Out, idiot. We need a new ride. Ready? No, I just got in here, and I'm not like super good at this. It'll be all right, Tuck, Brody reassured him. Jump through the door just like you did. He looked right into Tuck's eyes without blinking. I know you can do this, man. Come on. Ready, guys? Ready, Brody answered. Tuck remained noticeably quiet. Almost there. Remember, we're moving. Hit the ground running. Right. Tuck and Brody stood side by side on the back seat, ready to spring. Now, Patsy shouted. A moment later, they were running together on the sidewalk. Nice, Tuck. I knew you had it in you. Thanks, buddy. I think I. All right, Patsy interrupted. You can have a party later. Right now, it's time to catch our next ride. Let's go with that one, the big yellow station wagon. But it's moving, Tuck objected. Nice catch, Brainiac. It don't matter. Here we go. The cat sped up to catch the car, which was still moving slow after taking the corner. Without a look back, she jumped easily through the front door in the front seat. No fear, Tuck, come on. Brody charged forward and then bounded through the back door, coming to rest in the car's back seat. Before he could stand up and check on Tuck, the big black dog landed beside him. Nice, man. Tuck panted happily. I think I'm getting the hang of this. They had to switch cars 3 more times to keep up with the bus. By the third hop, Tuck was leading the way, picking a car and jumping in without even waiting for Patsy and Brody. The last car was Brody's favorite. He didn't care that it had soft leather seats and a clean floor. He didn't care that the driver was listening to nice piano music on the radio. He didn't even notice, actually. But there was a kid in the car. She was in the back seat reading a book. She had a backpack on the seat next to her. Sure, she was a girl. And yeah, she was probably a year or two younger than Aiden was. But still. His eyes were sleepy and puffy like he remembered Aiden's had been that morning. Her pants were just a little too short for her growing legs, just like most of Aiden's were, showing the brown skin of her ankle and the white of her sock. As she read, she smiled softly to herself from time to time, or pursed her lips, or raised her eyebrows at what was happening in the story, just like Aiden did. Brody sat in the back seat, just looking at her. Tuck and Patsy were in the front seat, watching the bus and arguing about whether they should upgrade to a car with a cleaner windshield. But Brody ignored them. He just sat in the back seat, watching the girl's face as she read, watching the way she brushed her curly black hair out of her eyes, or rubbed at her nose, or sighed at the words on the page. Just watching the kindness of her. Just looking for little echoes of the boy he was seeking. Because Brody, that dog loved. He just loved. A lot. Finally, though, his watching was broken by Tuck's voice. The bus is stopping, buddy, behind a bunch of other buses. Their car was slowing too, pulling over to the side of the road. The girl folded down the corner of the page she was reading and slid it into her book bag and then zipped it closed. Tuck looked out the window. He saw the brick building, the flagpole, the double front doors, the stream of shouting, chattering kids walking inside. Hop out, he said. We're here. We'll start chapter 11 too. There's no use going in, you know. Patsy was sitting next to that sidewalk, out of the way of the last few kids still straggling into the building. What are you talking about? This is a huge school, she said. Look at it. And it was. The main building was 3 stories tall, and there was at least 4 smaller buildings around it. This had been Aiden's first year going to this school, middle school. Brody remembered him saying, and it was way bigger than the school he'd gone to before. Hundreds of kids in there, Patsy went on. Over 1,000, maybe. The new words, hundreds, thousand, sprang into meaning in Brody's head, and he understood them, and he understood the truth in them. Brody looked at the building full of countless kids, crowds of kids who were the wrong one. But that's not what he saw. What he saw was the right one. Aiden, somewhere in there waiting to be found. You think I'm not going to go find him after all I went through to get here? Brody asked with raised fur, lifting his lips at Patsy and stepping toward the school. Patsy yawned. Don't be so dramatic. This ain't life or death, kibble for brains. You're already dead, remember? I'm just saying if you were smart, which you ain't, you just wait for. I'm not waiting for anything, Brody interrupted. I'm going in. I'm finding my boy. Brody trotted forward toward the double front doors of the school. Don't be an idiot, Patsy called after him, but Brody didn't slow down. All right, Tuck exclaimed, jogging to catch up and run beside Brody. I always wanted to go inside a school. Hey, have you learned the word cafeteria yet, buddy? Brody hadn't, but as soon as Tuck had said the word, he got it. An image came to his mind. A big room of long tables of kids eating food from trays. Food. Of course. Brody shook his head. Focus, Tuck, he said. We're not here to find pizza crusts. Who said anything about pizza crusts? Tuck asked. I was hoping for something more along the lines of hot dogs. You ever had a hot dog? Brody had. Despite himself, he licked his lips at the salty memory that surfaced in his mind. No, he lied, and I need you to concentrate. You gotta help me find Aiden. Oh, okay. What's he look like? Brody thought about it. Well, he's a boy. Yeah, I got that part. Short hair, brownish, like that kid's, but a little longer, Brody said. About the same height as that girl with the skateboard, I think. And Brody peered through the fog in his brain and looked closer at his most recent memory. And he's got a blue coat, a big puffy one. All right, Tuck said, looking around. Boy in a blue coat. Got it. The school doors closed in front of them. Through the doors, Brody could hear a muted, echoey roar. It was hundreds of voices, thousands of footsteps, doors slamming, books dropping, shouted laughter, stamping boots. And somewhere in that roar, one quiet boy who meant everything. Let's do it, Brody said, and then he leapt through the doors with Tuck by his side. What did he leap into? Absolute madness. There were legs and feet everywhere, people screaming, yelling names, running and dancing and shoving, backpacks being tossed, metal lockers crashing shut, snow-wet shoes squeaking on the muddy tile floor. More smells than you could wag your snout at, more sounds than any ears could ever take in. That's where we're going to stop. All right, so in Google Classroom today, you're going to click on, I think there's another video for you to watch. Let me just pull up this. Yep, there's another video for you to watch. It's a little bit shorter. You're going to read the same article from yesterday, so it's linked again today, and then you're going to answer an exit ticket with 4 questions on it, okay, just talking about the article. So please, even though you read the article on Monday, reread it again just so it's fresh in your mind, and then answer the questions, okay? Make sure that you're still doing your independent reading, your exact path, your check-in, and then you're watching the daily social studies lessons as well. Also today there is a Zoom meeting with Mrs. Bustler at 3 o'clock, so if you want to join that, the link will be posted. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, if you need anything from me, if you need any help or you're confused what you're doing for the assignments, please send me an email. If not, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, guys. Bye.